Hi guys, it's Dr. Muhammad Usman and I am back with another video on the topic of Hadoop for beginners. This video will be a basic video that will be providing you overview of Hadoop network, who uses it, what are the Hadoop uses, the sample applications and some core Hadoop concepts, and we will also talk about goals, challenging and a little architecture overview. Other than that, I will be talking about the difference between Hadoop 1 and Hadoop 2 and some disadvantages and disadvantages. So basically this video will be just overview of all of these, and for other advanced video in next time I will be talking about the architecture of Hadoop in detail. So starting from the very basics of Hadoop, when we talk about it, it is similarly like the cloud computing network. If you have known it, if you have studied it, then you might have idea that the start was the cloud computing and it just changed the internet architecture. So basically Hadoop is one application in the cloud computing, and it is an advanced application based on processing of the big data and processing the large amount of data in a little time. And also when we talk about Hadoop, so we should be knowing that Hadoop is an open source software framework that is used for storage and retrieval of data in short time, and it also provide you a cloud hardware and software which we are able to use for the processing of large amount of this amount of data. So basically Hadoop was created by Dog and Mike in 2005, and since then it has improved a lot, and it has improved from different versions, and currently the version is version 2 which we are using. And the Hadoop is not only the single thing which the cloud computing network is using. The Hadoop has also a number of applications for different number of tasks that we will see later on, such as it has Scoop, Fume, it has Pig, it has MapReduce. So basically every application has a different type of services. So depending on the number of services and number of requirement of the services, we can use the different applications of Hadoop. So at this moment I will just stick to the Hadoop overview and Hadoop details. So when we talk about the Hadoop, we might know that Hadoop was developed in 2005, and since then it was used by Yahoo, Google and Cloudera and Netflix and Samsung, Microsoft, LinkedIn, Twitter, eBay, Amazon. So every other different bigger organization is using the Hadoop network, and the basic purpose is that it helps them to process the data easily than the other cloud computing tools or applications. It provides them the overview of different data available, the analytics about different users using their system. Like on the Google, if someone searches, then next time it relates you to the recommended suggestions that what you have searched, and you can see it in other type of ads. So similarly, like if we talk about the graph mining applications and data mining, machine learning, so Hadoop is used in all of them because it helps to retrieve large amount of data. And when I am talking about large amount of data, it is big data in quintillion bytes, petabytes and greater than that. So basically Hadoop is providing a service, an application and front end interface for retrieving and storage of that data, and also providing the analytics. It is also used for large social networks for finding out the number of users. And if I talk about the very simple application, the ad marketing. So the targeted marketing and ad marketing used by Twitter, LinkedIn, Yahoo, and every other bigger organization, it is done by the Hadoop network using the Hadoop cloud computing services and its different applications. So Hadoop has many different functionalities, but the basic one is to store a file and retrieve a file. So it is similarly like if I have a laptop or PC at home, I can store the data in different drives, C drive, D drive, V drive. But in case of Hadoop network or cloud computing network, we have a large number of different hard drives or networks with very different distinct spaces, and we use them for the calculation or processing of our data. So sample applications which we are using nowadays, one of them is the Web 2.0, and Web 2.0 is used for the data information and creating the value for the users of it. So basically one of the sample application is also for the reporting. So if you talk about the analytics application or other application used for analyzing your YouTube views, and if you even go into the YouTube panel, you will also find out there is an analytics. So basically, if it is analytics for you, one single person, so you can know how many users are uploading those videos and how YouTube is processing those videos in little amount of time. So that is just because of the Hadoop and its application. Then we talk about the Google algorithms. Google search is very fast and very good, and it also provides you the ability to search the related items in a less amount of time. Even there is an instant search. So basically, it is just also because of the Hadoop network and cloud computing network, because if data is available and stored and indexed properly, then we can easily retrieve it, and it is the basic purpose of the Hadoop to index the data uh, at proper locations and retrieve them from the proper location. Then, as you know, that we receive many spam emails, many spam comments. So how the system analyzes it? That is also because of the Hadoop network and Hadoop application. It processes millions of emails per minute and find out that which is spam and which is not good for you. And then generating the competitive intelligence. Nowadays, people are working on the machine learning, robotics, and they are using the Hadoop network to create the own machine learning languages, and even the using the Hadoop network and artificial intelligence. Many robotics and other machines are generating their own languages and working on them. So it means that they are becoming intelligent day by day. And using the Hadoop network, all the different search algorithms and all the different uh, reporting methodology, it is improving day by day, and it is becoming easy for us to invest in this and then grow our business. So what are the core Hadoop concepts? One of them is that Hadoop applications are written in high level language, so it becomes easy for you if you know about C++, Java or Python. So if you have knowledge of it, then you can easily work on the Hadoop, and it is not difficult, and it is easy for you to learn it. So basically, there is no network programming. So another concept of Hadoop is that there are nodes, and related to every node there is a communication channel or there is a link. So a node should communicate as little as possible. If you are using nodes and if you have knowledge about the linked list, so it will work similar to like that, but in this case there is a huge backend storage spaces which have a lot of number of nodes. So difference is the greater number of amount of nodes than the single amount of nodes. So basically, the core Hadoop concept, nodes should communicate less as possible, and if there is less communication, it means there will be fast communication. And the data is processed among the machines in advance. So what is done in the Hadoop when you will use the applications? You load up the data on the machine, or the data is already available on the machine. What you do, you just write the command, and data is already processed in the advance for you, and it will just generate analytics. So even if you are going to the YouTube analytics in the real time, you can see that your data is already processed in real time. It is just because of the Hadoop network, and it has made the data stored as fast as possible and for the proper computation. So it means at the back end in the Hadoop there are very strong algorithms which are computing the data at the similar time. Even you click and you will get the response of your views or analytics in YouTube. So basically, core Hadoop concepts are related to providing you the fast and a good approach with velocity, speed, and variety as we have in the big data. So what are the Hadoop goals? The basic goal is that, as I talked about, that it is about storage and processing of large and rapidly growing data sets. So Hadoop is used for the similar. It is for both structured and non-structured data, and it just follow the simple programming method. So as I talked about the big data, Hadoop is used to solve out the big data problems, to solve out the big complex problems which cannot be solved over normal ordinary machines. So it will be providing you the opportunity to scale up your data, and your data is all the time available. Also, it uses a cheap hardware. It is not an expensive hardware. It is fault tolerant hardware, and it provides you more computation than the data. So as I told you that Hadoop has already processed your data when you click any functionality or application which is using the Hadoop. So basically, it is storing your data and computing your data all the time. And other than this, if I talk about, we need fast computing power for the Hadoop. That is an important part. So Hadoop goal is to facilitate the data and process the data in a very smaller time and there are also different applications linked to it which we will be studying later on that has their own functionality. So Hadoop goals can be increased, and by the time Hadoop is going into the artificial intelligence or competitive intelligence, so its goal is to automate everything and in providing you the very fast services. As you know that internet is also bandwidth of the internet is also increasing day by day. So that is just because we have now greater space and greater amount of data that can be processed in little amount of time. But there are very much challenges related to the Hadoop installation and Hadoop implementation. It is not that much easy that we can just use the Hadoop and just implement it. One of the problem is that it is a cutting edge technology, so it is expensive, and it is in enterprise ecosystem. You cannot just implement the Hadoop in your own home. You need access to the bigger ecosystem which are Hadoop enabled and which can provide you the storage of data and retrieval of greater amount of data. It is still rough and under development, so you must know that it is not complete yet. So there are many improvement chances in it. So Hadoop is continually improved over the time, and there will be some errors but not that much. But the best part is that it always avoid the errors and provide you the compute the relative amount of data or provide you the relative or required computations. And Hadoop is not cheap itself. It has hardware cost and IT and operation cost. So using Hadoop is cheap, but to implement Hadoop is not cheap, because you need to have a greater amount of hardware. If I am talking about big data, a simple machine cannot even process about gigabytes of data, and even if we are copy and pasting a gigabyte amount of data in our own laptop, so we can just go up to 10 MB per second or 20 MB per second. So when we talk about the quintillion bytes of data, then the data is so much huge that you need very bigger hardware and software. So Hadoop enabled applications and computing itself is very expensive. So what we should be doing, that we should be just taking services from the people or organization who are providing the Hadoop services, and we can use them easily. Similarly, like the cloud computing applications. So what furthermore, the development and admin tools for Hadoop are still pretty new. Companies like Cloudera, Horton Networks, MapR, and Karmasphere have been working on it, and they are trying to improve it for you. So another problem is that HDFS does not offer native support for security and authentication. So the file storage system is not a good system for security and authentication. It is good for computing and processing. So we will talk about the Hadoop architecture now. The basic architecture includes an Hadoop common, libraries and modules, and then there is a Hadoop distributed file system network, which is used for the file storage and file retrieval. Like it is similar like our database system, but it is in greater amount for the file. So text and file both have different, as we know that text and file both have different properties, and they have to be stored differently. So HDFS network will provide you the distributed file system. Then there is a Hadoop Yarn. It is a resource negotiator. Basically, many different users are using the Hadoop network, and many like if you are working on a data set, that data set or file might be required by the another user. So there is a resource negotiator that provides you the availability of data all the time, and you can use the data. And another thing is that how it can be done we will study later on, but I will give you a little concept. It is done by replicating and copying of that data. So that is why the data is available all the time. Then at the lower level we have the Hadoop MapReduce. It is basically a programming language for the processing of the large scale data, and you work on the interface of the MapReduce. Basically, when you are working or computing large amount of data, you can use the MapReduce for splitting, joining, and dividing of the data of large data sets and converting them into your required applications or computing them. So at the back end you will be getting Hadoop Common, HDFS, Hadoop Yarn, and on the front end you will be getting the MapReduce and other applications such as Spark, Fig, Fume, Scoop, which will help you to process your data and which will provide you the relative application and processing technology. So there are two differences at this moment. Since the start there was Hadoop 1, and then we have the Hadoop 2. So basically the previous architecture what you have seen, it has Yarn existing. So we have the architecture of Hadoop 2 at this moment. The difference is just simple that Hadoop Yarn was not in Hadoop 1 and have only name nodes. But in Hadoop 2 what we have that we have created the Hadoop Yarn, and we have name node and secondary name node for the recovery. So basically the problem was that in Hadoop 1 system we have just MapReduce and HDFS system for the as key components, and we don't have the Yarn component. So what was the problem? We have greater amount of data lost, and we don't have any property for the data retrieval. So by introducing the resource scheduling and negotiation network Yarn, what we have done that we have a secondary name node for the recovery. So we have now two nodes rather than one node, and we will also see that we have other nodes such as data node, file node, which can be used for the retrieval and working on the data. So if I further talk about the applications, you can see over here that we have Pig, Hive. Pig is a script application, Hive is a query application, and SC catalog provides you the metadata services, and there are also other Yarn networks. So the basic difference over here is that you have Yarn and you have one another node that retrieves your data or replicates your data and provide you the retrieval services. And we will talk about greater detail when we will go into the architecture of Hadoop, and it will provide you a better, greater understanding. Other than that, all components are similar if you can compare both of the images. So I will further move toward the advantages of the Hadoop. There are many advantages if we can talk about, or we have seen that now it is scalable, it has high scalability storage platform, and it can store large amount of data. As I told you, it is used for processing of large amount of data and retrieval a large amount of data. So it is one of the advantages we are using it. Then it is cost effective. If we if we can have the service of Hadoop from other network, then it is cost effective. But if we go on the hardware implementation and IT cost implementation, then it is very expensive. So most of the organization go for the organization which are providing the Hadoop services, and they just gain services from them, and it becomes cost effective from them. Then it is flexible. It helps the businesses to easily access new data sources and work on different data sources. So it is not like that you are working on one type of data. Hadoop supports different amount of data. Like I talked about the structured and non-structured data. So Hadoop supports both of them. So other than these three advantages, I talk about that it is fast. As I talked about in the start, we use Hadoop because it provides you a fast retrieval of the data. So if data is retrieved fast, so we can basically find out the data wherever it is located in the cluster or distributed file system. And other thing is that the key advantage of using the Hadoop is that it is fault tolerance, as I told you in the start, which means that when data is stored at an individual node or sent to an individual node, the data is also replicated. So before in Hadoop 1 we don't have the replication, in Hadoop 2 we have replication now. So if your data is lost, you can easily retrieve them, and during the processing, if the data is lost, the nodes will retrieve for you and they will process you in the similar time period. So there is always available, it means that it is always available, and there is another copy of data always available for you which you can work on it. Other than the advantages, there are some disadvantages of Hadoop. One of the biggest problem is the security concept. That is why it is not used on the greater scale at this moment and not publicly available. A simple example can be seen in the Hadoop security model is that which is stable by default due to sheer complexity. We cannot do the complex problem, or we cannot use it for the processing of the complex secure application. Hadoop is also missing encryption and storage. So basically there is no encryption and decryption in the Hadoop at different network levels. And the major selling point, and it is also the major selling point for the government agencies and other prefer to keep their data. So the data available on the Hadoop is publicly available. That is the bigger problem, and it is vulnerable by the nature as it is an open source frame network. So anyone can execute any query or language, and it can just generate any amount of data. So it is vulnerable. And there are also potential stability issues, like it is an open source software, it has always issues, and it always have to be improved. So people and organization are always working on it, and it is not fit for the small data. As I told you, big data is for big platform and big organization, and all the big data platform don't support the smaller data needs. So that is a bigger problem at this moment, that if you have a small amount of data, then you can use simple data visualization or different techniques which can be used to process your data. So to avoid these issues, organizations strongly recommend to make sure that they are running the latest stable version, and they run under a third party vendor to handle such problem. Like I told you, on server and on hardware cost and operation cost are too much. So this video is up to here now. If you like my video, you can subscribe to my channel, and if you want any video concept to be explained in Urdu or English, then you can just send an email or comment on it, and I will be happy to do it. Thank you.